enthusiastic than I was planning. Currently driving to work, and last night it was a weird night. Does anyone ever get the feeling like you want to do something, but then you start feeling discouraged, or you talk too much about it with people, and you're just hoping that others share the same enthusiasm, but they don't? I'm not here to bash anyone or talk about that. This is literally a video diary. That's exactly what it's intended to be. And last night I was thinking about the main issue that I've been facing with wanting to change up the lifestyle and do the nomadic lifestyle and full-time traveling. Whoops. But yeah, so the main issue that I've been having with it is how am I going to make money? And I think that's a fairly reasonable question for people who don't live the lifestyle to have, because unfortunately you need to make money in order to have things. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do this. My boyfriend's pretty much got it set right now. He's doing schooling for technical writing, which I'm very supportive of, and I'm really proud of him for doing it. I tend to be pretty adverse when it comes to school, because it is if you've weighed all the pros and cons about it, and usually the biggest con with it is the cost. But again, fucking professors go to school and they go to specialize to teach people, so yeah, they are worth that money in a sense. I don't think as much money as some programs cost. Oh, for fuck's sakes. But yeah, I don't know, I've just struggled with wanting to go to school for certain things, but I've never gone through with it because of that cost to outcome ratio there. I'm so short in this car. But I don't know, I have no clue how I'm gonna actually make a living doing this job, or I don't know how I'm gonna make a living doing this lifestyle, but I know it's something I gotta do it. I believe that there's more to life than what my little circle has shown me. And it's fucking complicated, man. And it shouldn't be as complicated as I'm making it. I tend to make things overly complicated. But I don't know, I'm just struggling with I want to talk to people and teach them things, but I don't know if anyone would actually give a shit about listening to what I have to say. And I don't want to sell out either. I want to be genuine about the stuff that I'm writing or the stuff that I'm taking videos of. I'm very lucky right now. I have a good job. I'm happy with it. It's good pay, good people. I enjoy the physical attribute of it. It's something that I can do working with my hands. And I just know that I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life, kind of thing. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything for the rest of my life other than just trying to live. And it was hard. I find I try to deal with my own self-discouragement, especially when I try to find something that I enjoy doing. I love writing about philosophical stuff and just kind of pretty much rambling on about theories on just the human experience and what humans deal with. And I believe that a lot that we deal with is all entirely self-inflicted. Well, not everything. Like, I mean, death obviously is a difficult thing, and it's never unexpected death is something that isn't self-inflicted, being that you don't expect to deal with it when you do, and it's a very difficult thing, and that goes into dealing with unexpected loss. But I think as humans, we've put so many variables up on pedestals that have ultimately caused our mental health decline. You know, like, it's insane to see all these people in their 20s having these really serious mental health problems, and for what? What purpose does this serve? You know, you have the 20-year-olds who are trying to be active and show people about mental health, and then you have the generation, not necessarily above 20-year-olds, but I guess like above millennials. It's like my parents' generation. Now, my mom, I couldn't say enough good things about her when it comes to the mental health aspect. She is extremely supportive, and she's been my rock for a lot of years, and I've been able to talk with her openly, and I've never had a fear of judgment from her. Other people in her age range, though, they're in so much denial about the problems in the world, and they give the younger generation flack for actually trying to make a difference, which excuse me, it bothers me, though. You know, like, younger generation, they want to do shit, they want to go see stuff, they want to fucking change the world, and then they're dealing with fucking like the industrial side of life, like working and trying to make money and capitalism and all this shit. They're trying to deal with the pretty much really shit system that we've been born into, and we've had no choice, and during this we've tried to roll with the punches as best as we can. And when you're trying to get through something that you were not put in, I'm speaking from experience. You know, my parents had a really bad divorce, and you know, there were mistakes made by them, and it did greatly impact my life in the course of events that I ended up living through. And that's the shit that's going on, is the older generation that had the power to make a huge difference for their children or their children's children. They had opportunities to make things better. However, I don't want to say they don't care, because it's generalizing. I have no fucking clue if they don't care or not. The ones that I've seen and the ones that I deal with, like my dad is a good example. I'm not bashing him at all. He has his own opinions and beliefs. So do I. Sometimes we can agree on them, and other times we have arguments based on them. But it doesn't change the fact that you have to adapt to what's going on in your life. Because it's either you do or you don't, and your life is never going to get better if you choose not to adapt to what's going on. And I'm not saying you have to accept all the shitty things in your life. Acknowledge what is changeable. Like, what you can do to change the outcome of your life. If you're upset about your job, see how you can make it better. If you're upset about your living situation, see what you can change. And I think that's been the main thing that's helped me get through my life, is try to focus on the work for the things that are in your control, and it makes it easier to deal with the stuff that is out out of your control. You know, it's out of my control that I have to pay for gas. What is in my control, though, is where I'm going, and that ultimately defines why I have to pay for gas. You know, if I try to find an option, if I live far away from a job that I'm really interested in, that I've weighed the pros and cons of it, well, see what you have to do in order to move closer so that you can save on gas, or carpool, or like, there's a lot of options. And I think, and I'm guilty of it too, like, there are a lot of options in life. You just have to keep trying each one and see what will work out for you. But like, I've gone through a fair amount of stuff, some self-inflicted, some not, in my life, and I'm uncomfortable talking about it to certain people because of my age. Like, you know, my age on paper, like 22 years old. Like, oh, what do you know? You don't know anything. You haven't lived long enough to know that stuff. I know 30-year-olds that haven't gone through what I've gone through. Does that make them smarter than me in that aspect? No. Does that make me smarter than them in certain aspects? Hell no. It all depends on what you've experienced that will ultimately define your wisdom. You know, I've been homeless, and it was self-inflicted. You know, the unfortunate circumstances, I was in a bad relationship with someone. I wasn't comfortable moving back home because of situations. But it was ultimately my decision. I kind of looked at myself and I'm like, okay, where would I be better off at? You know, I could go back and live at home, but then I'd be back at square one in a sense, because I didn't have a car at the time. I barely had any money. Or see what happens. And with people's help and with a lot of anger and rage, I got out of it. You know? And it's seeing all these young people who, they have all these dogmatic ideas of how they want to change the world, but the thing is, it's extremely hard to change the world you are currently living in. Meaning, it's a lot easier to go help someone change their life if you're not living that life. And it's a lot easier for someone to help you if they're not living those experiences, because I'm gonna deal with loss of, say, a job a lot differently than my mom would, than my brother would, than my father would. But I can still swallow my pride and listen to the suggestions from them, because they might have some words of wisdom that could ultimately change my perception on the situation. And I'm not saying like I'm a perfect example of this. I'm by no means a perfect example of this. And that's okay. I'm not trying to sell myself on these video diaries saying that, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm better than everyone. Hell no, I suck. And I will be the first to say I suck at a lot of things. And it is a hard thing to do. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought, sorry. It's a hard thing to do to actually like say that to yourself, that you are shitty at doing things, or that you might be the problem, or you are accountable for what happened. Because we're not taught that. You know, no one wants to sit there and say I was a shitty friend, because it doesn't feel good. People want to do things that make them feel good, and they really do not want to do stuff that's going to either prove to others their flaws. They don't want to come forward with their flaws, but you know what? Fuck it. Every single person on this planet has a flaw that they wish they could change about themselves. You know, like, there's days where I don't like how I look, and then there's days where I feel really good about my physical appearance because of the work I put in. All the stuff that I could control. I can control how my hair looks. I can control if I wear makeup. You know, like, I can't control the shape of my face or the color of my eyes. I mean, no matter what, those are constants. Unless I go the extra mile to get plastic surgery. But even then, people are doing that to feel better. The whole point of life is to feel happy and to do things that are going to make you feel happy. But you say that to people, and you know, when you say what your goal is, it's like to be happy, everyone's going to come back with like 60 fucking questions. It's like, well, why? What are you doing? How are you going to make a living? What are you going to do? Like, I don't know. I know right now, currently, I'm doing a video diary and driving to a job that in this present moment makes me happy. It might not be like that in a week. And the older generation doesn't understand that work, like employment, I'll say, not work. Employment is not a constant. Oh, frig, the sun looks really cool. And I don't know, it's just, it's hard to get away from discouragement, especially when you're deciding to do something in life, because you don't know if it's gonna pay out in a sense or be at all beneficial. And like, I just struggled with this last night. I didn't think I wanted to do these anymore because I just felt like giving up in a sense and just working a job and coming home and not doing anything that really makes me happy. But you know, like, there's gonna be days like that, and I just hope that for a lot of people you have the right people around you that can help you get out of that mindset even just momentarily. So what I'm saying is I'm grateful for the people that I currently have in my life because they've taught me a lot and they mean a lot to me. And regardless of how shitty my life gets, I can at least say that I'm grateful for them. The good and the bad. Anyways, peace.